Today is a special day. Ken and I are gonna head out to Arizona. I got a call from a gal named Kristi James, whose husband played in a really cool band called Peanut Butter in the 60s. She has all the original gear that he bought brand new in 1965. Show posters, records, reached out to a bunch of the band members, so we're gonna go have some fun, and this is what it's about. I'm really excited. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna bring you along for the ride, so let's get going. We just landed in Phoenix, drove over to Scottsdale, checked into the hotel, and we're about to go meet up with Kristi. This is the first time we're seeing the guitars in person. We're gonna unearth these and check them out, make sure they are what they are, but I've seen all the pictures and I have no doubt in my mind, but you know, we're gonna take her apart, make sure it's all good, get this gal her money, have some fun. We are thrilled to meet her. She's cool as hell. She's been really helpful. She did her research. She got a hold of some of the big shops that all you guys know, and I beat all the offers by a couple grand, which I think was, you know, well deserved on her part, especially with the extra provenance, you know, pictures, the records, the whole band posters. That's all just insurance on a purchase like this, and she's been so paramount in helping us, you know, connect all these different band members. I'm so excited. We're all stoked, and then we're gonna bring them back and show the world how cool these are, and talk a little bit about Robert, who owned them, and his band Peanut Butter. All right, we just arrived. Let's go meet Kristi. Hey,
hi,
how's it going?
Trevor. So nice to finally meet you.
It is so nice to finally meet you. This is Ken.
Hi, Ken.
How's it
Come
going?
on in. Okay, so I'm going to step back and let you do the honors. It's in there.
Okay, cool. All right, this is the moment we're all waiting for, what we love to do. Wow. Here they are. Okay. So I know which one this is. I was telling them earlier, you've been so cool and helpful in coordinating this whole thing, and tomorrow's gonna be so fun.
It will be fun tomorrow. You know, I've never met those guys. Yeah.
They're excited to meet you. Wow. It's a really good weight. That is cool. So we're gonna restring this thing and get it going and make some noise out of it. Look at all that green in the frets. That's how you know it's just the real deal. Oh my gosh, my old man is gonna love this. He might want to keep this. Wow, okay, gorgeous. Look at that. Arizona Music Center, Glendale. So how long have these been kind of hanging in the closet?
Well, Robert stopped playing them probably 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And he transitioned first to classical, and then got himself a different playing guitar because he played right behind the couch, and the larger amp and speakers were a bit much.
Oh, I know. It's cool. It's got the covers and all that. She can look at that here in a second. All right, so here's the Strat. Gorgeous. Same deal, Arizona Music Center, Glendale. And these were purchased all together.
Yes,
I heard
at the same time.
I heard he hated Sunburst finish too.
He did.
Old strings, you know. Another cool old strap. I like that the two straps match the instruments.
They do. They were part
Thoughtful.
of
That's cool.
it. Okay, so remember how we talked about how disappointed I was that I couldn't find the vibrato piece in the cover?
Yeah.
I found it.
You did?
I did.
Oh my gosh, Kristi.
I did. I found it. Yeah, excuse me.
I didn't mean to make you work so much.
Well, it was good. I got some cleaning done that I wouldn't have otherwise.
Wow. These are both really light too. Oh,
Here it
look at that.
is.
And the bass one. It's cool. It's got the keys for the case, all that, some old strings, back plate, screws. What's this? Floyd and Jerry are boss. That's cool. I love this stuff. Is this included? Oh my gosh. Well, those are beautiful. I mean, gorgeous instruments, truly.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. And I already know what this is, but look at that. Covers.
And circuit diagrams on it behind it.
Oh, that's gonna be fun to ship. These sound great though. Check it out, it's got the name on the top. Well, Bob, I like your taste in gear, my man. Can't wait to explore his history in Arizona, Glendale. All the original tubes in there. Okay, so this is a fun surprise.
The original stuff is underneath.
This caught my eye because there's another cabinet, and Kristi had put this on in the 70s, and I was like, I'll take it. I'll use it as decor. And then this started slipping. This old.
I had forgotten we did both.
I'm keeping it. I think that's cool as hell. It tells a story. So look at that.
So this was one. I think that they were the opening band for
Cool.
them.
For the Dave Clark 5.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I got a bunch of these Crux 1965, 66 type. And that one is the Beau Brummels, all signed.
Wow.
And Ian Whitcomb. And I guess they played for them also, so.
Oh, and here's that picture
Yeah.
you sent me. That is all 3 pieces of gear. And that
That's
was
my
your
little brother. He was teaching him to play guitar.
That's so cool.
I think this was the original catalog that he brought it out of.
Yes, it is. It's cool.
And this is the band, Peanut Butter.
Good looking guys. So which one is Bob in this? Right there. Which one's Phil? Who I've been
This is
talking
Phil.
to? Okay, that's Phil. And then do you know Steve? That's another one of these 3.
It's one of those.
Cool.
It's one of those 3. I say, I really didn't know these guys.
Yeah, no,
So
well,
it'll be a treat for me to meet them tomorrow too. I have to warn you, Charlie, he'll get all over you and put fur on your pants. and
okay.
Hey, are you going to be nice or not? Come on. Yes. Ken is the talker.
Yeah, I can tell. And he designed the whole barn?
He did. He supervised the build. He was kind of the major construction guy, and he actually dimensioned it and laid it out.
It's gorgeous. I love how it sits behind these trees too. It
Yeah.
sits really nice back here.
Well, it's unusual for here too because usually, you think cactus,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. And we're very lucky in that we have a well and we have water, and we
Yeah.
irrigate. And that's the only reason you can have trees like this.
What a little oasis out here. I love it.
Steven, you came! Come on, man.
How's it going? Dude, nice to meet you both.
Why don't you say hi to her
Here.
first?
Charlie.
Kristi,
No.
Dude,
what's up, dude?
Wow, that was awesome. Look out for Charlie.
What's up, man?
Ken.
Nice to meet you.
Was that rad?
That is so cool.
The color is still there. Cool.
little green,
A
just-
straps.
Perfect.
Plus the Fender strap.
That's just a classic. Just just a little bit of green to that finish.
I know. All right, so Steve and I have been buddies long distance for a while. Initially from guitars on Instagram, whatnot, kind of following each other. He's a guitar collector. This guy's a legend. Like I said, a guitar player, collector, man of many talents. Cycling is one of them, but
Old Fender nerd here. So
so this is a cool, so excited to meet Kristi finally, then kind of get a 2-for-1, seeing Steven come through the door. He drove 3 hours to get here today, so I'm just like,
that'd be the impromptu guitar tech.
yeah, exactly. It's alive. The colors of Christmas. Those two look so nice together. Wow, what an awesome afternoon with our beautiful host, Kristi. We're gonna go back to the hotel. She's setting us off with a bunch of these old records. So the first 10 lucky callers. Just kidding. But just an amazing time. Thank you so much, Kristi.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow,
See you guys
right?
tomorrow.
Bye, Charlie.
Bye.
See you, buddy. So it's noon on Tuesday. Yesterday we spent an awesome day with Kristi, and she's gonna meet us here. It's gonna be her first time meeting Phil Mata, a couple of the other members of the original band that Robert was a part of during the era where all those posters and records and the guitars were used. So we're gonna go meet in the living room, dig deeper into the story of these instruments and, you know, the band Peanut Butter, which I'm really excited to hear about. It'll be fun, so let's do it.
I figured I'd take this rather than parking on the street. Are you recording me?
Always.
Hi.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
I am too.
It'll be very
It's gonna be
interesting.
cool. I hear him. Sounds like a band in there. Hey guys! How's it going?
Good, come on in. So we haven't seen Bob in 50 years.
Almost 50 years.
God, Bob's the best looking one in the bunch. Gee.
That's when he got legit. He went into engineering.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's a great picture.
Oh yeah, my goodness.
I think we started in '65. I went to Brophy
I went to Brophy and Central,
and then
and then North, working my way south. Next would have been Reform School. That's why, you know, we got the band going.
exactly.
You know,
It's all
right?
part
Rebel.
of that angst.
Yeah.
It's that angst.
I can remember one day we were sitting at my parents' house and we were thinking, okay, what kind of name do we want to come up with? And there was all these goofy names. Somebody came up with it. I don't know who.
The name went up in the air and
Yeah,
it got
Peanut
voted on. I
Butter.
guess it was accepted. J.C. Hall, the VIP club, it was a Chamber of Commerce place, but it was a VIP lounge when we played there, and we played opposite of a band called the Spiders. They were a local group that was as popular as we were at the time. They were kind of a hard rock group. We were kind of a bubblegum band. And we would take an hour on, and then the Spiders would come up and do theirs. Now, interestingly enough, this band got up and went to LA one day and turned out to be Alice Cooper. We would do that for about a year, so that was our kind of our main place that
Our
we
weekly
played.
gig.
We did our main gig.
And it was a hall. It was all standing.
They paid $1 a piece to get in.
Packed.
But anyway, we played there, and then we did a lot of opening acts for bigger bands.
Yeah.
Turtles, Mamas and
Dave
Papas.
Clark
Dave
Five,
Clark Five. Buffalo
I took the-
Springfield.
the Yardbirds.
Oh yeah.
The Yardbirds
and-
a couple of times. We always had Mascot Records, which was a Phoenix label that our manager actually owned at the time, Jack Curtis, who was the founder. And that's how I got in touch with Kristi, was because we had a tune in a TV show, The Astronaut's Wife's Club, and the husband's going to blast off to the moon the next day or whatever, and we're in the background. And as they fade to commercial, the camera goes to the radio, like a portable radio that's playing our tune. Anyway, we got a check from Mascot Records for royalty for appearing in this stuff. Wasn't much, but so I called the guys, and that's when I found out that Bob was no longer with us. And I talked to Kristi.
Bob was a great musician and very cool guy, a lot of fun. We always enjoyed his company. He enjoyed ours. We had good times. And it just had a great feel, good chemistry. So I guess that's why our band took off. You know, we had a lot of good chemistry there.
Well, Bob James was an outstanding bass player, a really solid guy. He was unflappable. No surprise he turned into a pretty good engineer later in life. We had other players in the band who would tend to have highs and lows and occasionally throw a fit or do something or whatever. But Bob was always solid. Bass players and drummers are connected at the hip. We don't need anybody else. You know, you got a bass player and a drummer and a few vocalists, and you can form a band. So we were closely aligned. I remember his bass just worn a little bit at the top, you know, or his elbow might have rubbed against it, but it looks like it's back in 1966, 67 or something.
He took his music seriously. He was a stoic by nature. He was kind of our center, if you will. He was never late for a gig. Great guy to be around. Probably more quiet than you'd think, or you know, but it didn't matter. We liked Bob for why Bob was Bob. His bass looks newer than it did, you know, 40 years ago. It's a beautiful bass, and it'll probably give somebody another 50, 60 years of playing pleasure, you know? It's wonderful.
My name is Kristi James. I'm Robert James's widow. I met him my sophomore year in college. It was 1969. And, oh, he was so cute. I was grading his chemistry papers. He went to the professor I was working for and persuaded him to give him my phone number. He was a polymath. He was a great mathematician. He loved physics. He was fascinated by things like knots, of all strange things. A machinist, a woodworker. He had an electronics lab, designed his own hearing aids. And of course, he was a really, really, really solid engineer. And during his career, he designed the communication systems for Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Voyager 1, working with NASA and JPL, left the solar system, I think, in 2012, and is now in the Oort cloud, and will be there from the next 24,000 to 48,000 years. And it is still sending messages home. And so, he has something that will endure, a contribution that will endure. We married really quick. It was 3 months after I met him. We were young and still going to school. So life was very crazy. School, work, we had to get jobs. And he needed more money, so he would play on the weekends. And he'd go and play with any band that needed a bass player, pretty much, just to make some bucks. And some of them were god-awful. My role was to take and help load these things into the 58 Chevy, lemon yellow 58 Chevy his parents gave us. And my God, you know, this week has reinforced for me that I must have been possessing superhuman strength inspired by love, because these things are heavy. He was a sucker for candy apple red. He loved candy apple red cars, and so I can imagine, because this predates me, that was something that was very, very appealing. And he did not care for the sunburst that was evidently very popular at that time. He didn't have enough money of his own at that point in time, so his dad gave him a loan so he could buy all 4 pieces at the same time. The 1965 Stratocaster in a candy apple red, a 1965 jazz bass in Lake Placid Blue, the Fender Bassman amp, and the speaker that went with it. So it's all matched. He loved his instruments, he respected them. I always got asked before they were picked up, did you latch the middle latch, right? Because it was that important. He didn't trust the push-in latches. He thought they could spring open. He did not want them tumbling out. So it's kind of a very strong memory. Did you latch the center latch? He played beautifully. And he played every day, sometimes multiple times during a day. after, well, probably maybe halfway through our marriage, these things didn't get played as much. He had other guitars that he chose to play, other instruments he chose to play, and he would bring them out occasionally, usually around Christmas time, and play the Fender. But the others kind of took predominance in his life. It'll be 4 years Friday that he died. And when I finally got to the point where I could even consider selling these, and that was a tough point to come to, I realized that they needed a new home, that I didn't have a path for it. And if I pass away, I didn't know what was going to happen to them. So I wanted to take care of it. It was kind of on my checklist to take care of these things. I never envisioned being able to have an experience where we'd talk about him, we'd document some of the things that went on in his life at that time, that I'd actually meet his other band members, whom I'd only heard about over the years, but never really met. And I was so impressed with how much enjoyment all of you had, looking at the instruments, playing the instruments, the excitement around it. He would have enjoyed that. It would have pleased him immensely. I hadn't heard them in so long, and it touched me really deeply to hear that sound. It has a very unique sound to it. Hear that sound again, and that brought back a flood of memories. So I hope somebody not only appreciates them and takes care of them, but gets some joy out of them too and actually plays them.
I'm glad you let me fall in love with you.
And with that, our time in Arizona was coming to an end. Our hearts were full, but we had one last thing to check off the list. A lovely steak dinner with Kristi and a big bag of leftovers to take back for Charlie. We are going to find the perfect new home for these instruments to be enjoyed in, and I'm sure that peanut butter will be on the shop playlist from here on out.